Hello, my name is Maddie Schreiner, and the first aspect that I found was on page 24 of chapter 4. Open quote. The novel divides into three interwoven parts. Close quote. For example, the new movie Spider-Man Homecoming contains three interwoven parts. Part 1. As the movie Spider-Man Homecoming starts off where the Avengers left off in their last movie, the antagonists were cleaning up the city and Spider-Man had a dream of helping out the Avengers and being an Avenger. Part 2. It also was about Iron Man improving the Avengers and testing Spider-Man's ability if he was capable of being an Avenger. Throughout the journey, Spider-Man faces challenges of attempting to live a normal teenager life while trying to hide his identity, as well as trying to learn his new superpowers and saving the world all at the same time. Part 3. At the end, Spider-Man proves to Iron Man that he's capable of being an Avenger, but Spider-Man came to his senses and declined the offer of being an Avenger because he realized he still needs to enjoy his youth. Another example that I found was the movie The Lion King. Part 1. In the movie The Lion King, Simba starts off by having a dream of one day becoming king, but his uncle Scar despises the thought of Simba becoming king and plots a way of discouraging Simba that he shouldn't be king anymore. Part 2. Scar puts Simba in danger and Mufasa attempts to save his son from that danger he's in. But saving Simba, Scar ends up murdering Mufasa so he can be king, and convinces Simba that Simba is the reason his dad died, and told him to run away and never come back. Part 3. Simba is a fully grown lion now and is living with his two new friends, Timon and Pumbaa, in a place far from his kingdom. But somehow the love of his life finds him and convinces Simba that he wasn't the one who killed his father, and he needs to come back to his kingdom to take his place. Simba eventually takes over, rules Scar, and happily takes his place of being king. These two movies connect to Aspect 1 because they both divide into three interwoven parts. They first start off as a big dream, and then they face some challenges that discourage them, and eventually they both have the opportunity to accomplish their dream.
Hi, I am Amanda, and I am doing Aspect 2. On page 27, there is a quote, "There's only one story." And another, "When a new work is created, it is set among the monuments, adding to and altering the order." I use the two TV shows, Friends and How I Met Your Mother. Friends started in 1994 and went to 2004. How I Met Your Mother went from 2005 to 2014. Both TV shows have similarities. They start with 5 or 6 friends meeting at the same place every day in New York. In Friends, the couple Ross and Rachel have a love we all know that is meant to be, but it takes a little time to come back to each other. And in How I Met Your Mother, Ted and Robin find their way back to each other several times. There is also that one couple that is a solid couple, and in How I Met Your Mother, this is Lily and Marshall, which they have been married for several years and have kids together. In Friends, it was Chandler and Monica. It took a while for them to get together, but in the end, they stood with each other and knew they were the one. There was also that one character in the group that has a good time with all the ladies, and in Friends it is Joey, and in How I Met Your Mother it is Barney. One of the last similarities is, in both shows, they don't know one of the main characters' jobs. So in Friends it is Chandler. They do not know what he does for a living, and in How I Met Your Mother it is Barney's job. This sums to the idea that there is only one story that is set among the monuments, adding to and altering the orders.
Hi, I'm Penelope, and the aspect I'm discussing can be found on page 28. Open quote. "Stories grow out of other stories, poems out of other poems, and they don't have to stick to genre." End quote. Many songs and stories are not often original pieces, but taken ideas from previous works. In her song Love Story, Taylor Swift tells a story of love much related to Romeo and Juliet's, as does Justin Bieber in his song Stuck in the Moment. He makes direct reference to Romeo and Juliet, Adam and Eve, and many other tragic love stories. Taylor Swift utilizes the tragic love story of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet to express her belief on what love is like. As we all know in the play, Romeo and Juliet's lives are cut short due to the affection that they feel for each other. But Taylor Swift puts her own twist on the story and ends on a more positive note. Her version ends in marriage and happily ever after. Justin Bieber alludes that he and his paramour have more affection toward each other than Romeo and Juliet did. Singing about feelings toward a fan, he knows that his relationship is destined for disaster. Referencing the line about Adam and Eve, he knows that falling apart is inevitable, but believes that they can beat the odds. Being a celebrity-fan relationship, open quote, Bonnie and Clyde never had to hide like we do, end quote.
Hi, I'm Noah Ayala, and the first aspect I found was on page 26, open quote. What readers sometimes don't notice in their involvement with the story is that virtually everything in there is cribbed from something else, end quote. For example, What's New Scooby-Doo is a spin-off of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? Scooby-Doo Where Are You was first created in 1969 and was discontinued in 1970. From that point on, a number of spin-offs were created, including the New Scooby-Doo movies, the New Scooby-Doo show, Scrappy and Scooby-Doo. You get the point. There were a number of spin-offs. What's New Scooby-Doo was just one of the many, and more recent ones. Like Scooby-Doo Where Are You, What's New Scooby-Doo follows the Mystery Inc., a gang of 5, 4 humans, 1 dog, Fred, Velma, Shaggy, Scooby, and Daphne. These shows, despite one being a spin-off, are virtually the same. In each show, they follow monsters, goblins, whatever it is, ghosts, whatever they find in their past. My second example is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball follows the tale of Goku as a child. It begins when he is 5 and ends approximately around the age of 18. That is a 13-year span. Dragon Ball Z is a spin-off of Dragon Ball. You know, they get very creative with the names, as you can see, they added a Z. Dragon Ball Z follows Goku at basically his whole life after that. It follows his path as a warrior and his adventures that he goes on. These shows are similar in the fact that they both follow Goku in his life, and he is the main character in both, and they follow whatever he does in his life, whatever he chooses to do, whatever fighters he encounters. It's the same plot for the most part. These spin-offs show that people sometimes don't realize the involvement between two different stories and can't tell that one is cribbed from the other. This is just one of the many, many examples there are in many works of literature, television, and movies.
Aspect 5. There is a quote on page 30. There is nothing new in young men mistreating the women who love them, and that those without power in relationships. The song Hold Up by Beyonce is a great example because it shows how Beyonce will never love a man like any other girl. But it also states her intention to figure out where his loyalties lie, even if it means losing her sanity. My second example is Grey's Anatomy. In Season 5, Episode 21, a man is brought in with 17 gunshot wounds. The shooter is his 6-year-old daughter. Meredith, the main character, treats the little girl who has a cut on the face. It becomes clear that the guy is an abusive father. When the girl's mom tries to make her apologize to the dad, Meredith rips into the woman. She tells the mother, "At least you did something, which is more than I can say for you." The mother in the end tried to cover for the father, even though his daughter knew that he was not a good guy. This goes to show that there is nothing new in young men mistreating the women who love them,